Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? Let's see here. Let me turn this off. My name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and it is so great to be with you on this Monday afternoon. Usually on Mondays, we have our live drawing session at 7 o'clock, but today being a national holiday for those of you in the United States, I'm going to cut this. We're going to do this a little bit earlier. So anyways, my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Monday Night Live. Usually we will draw a landscape or seascape or interior, but occasionally we do something brand new. And so today we're going to draw this old car. And there's a lot that we can learn, especially about perspective and ovals when we draw this car. What else can I tell you? So this is these people represent some hillbillies. Hillbillies are a group of people here in the United States. Look it up. I do have a little bit of a description about them in the description area. This is a float that we had for our 4th of July celebration here in my hometown, and we are going to draw that today. So thanks to PA Hillbillys for letting me take their picture and getting this going here. Let's see. We have a really great Facebook group. There's a link down in the description for that. You could check that out. And if you're brand new to drawing, I recommend that you take the beginner's workshop class. That's also in the description down below. What else can I tell you? Yeah, that's about it. So please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. You know how it goes. Well, let's get started here. And let's talk about some key things that we're looking at here. Whenever we approach a drawing, especially one that is going to require perspective, we want to get it down to its most simplest form. Okay, so for example, let me just show you this idea. Let's just say I was going to draw a box going back in perspective. Okay, so let's start off with start off with 2 dots roughly in that arrangement, and let's just draw a line in between those two. And then we're going to drop a vertical here and make this one just slightly longer. Okay, let's start with this basic concept here. And then of course this is, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to remove this picture. Oh, you know what it is. All right, it's okay. We'll, all right, I'm going to start over, but you can stay right where you're at. I'm going to erase that picture, bring up a new one. Okay, so I start off with getting a line with 2 dots, straight down. Make this one here. This will be A, B. Make B a little bit longer, so it fans out just a little bit, just like that. Then we're going to bring this block back, and this one we're going to slightly taper it. You see that? And then this one is also going to taper, like they're all fanning out. What I mean by fanning out is like this. You see that? They're all fanning. These all are fanning out a little bit, and eventually they will converge at the same exact vanishing point. Now, I could just guesstimate that. That's totally okay at this point. So then let's take our vertical here, and we're gonna drop a vertical right there, just like that. This distance is totally relative. It's up to you. Just make your block long, and then here's the other thing. So we have that line that's fanning out. You see that's fanning out. Right here, we'll call this number 1. This number 1 point. Now this needs to go back. You're going to have to really guess about which direction it's going to go, and you really want this to converge, to converge, and that to converge. So you could just guess. I'm guessing, and at this point, it's okay. It's okay to guess if we're this close to an object, but you get the idea that they are all converging. All right. So essentially, what we're going to do is when we look at our car, we're going to draw a box around it and draw that box in perspective, and then that box is going to help us to figure out where things go, and I'm going to show you how to divide that down. Okay. Let me show you one more thing. Let's pretend that this block of wood had not 4 wheels, but only 2 wheels. So let's just pretend like our box is invisible, okay? And this back side, this is going to go back to that. This is going to also go back to the same vanishing point. So drop a vertical very lightly. And then this is also going to go back to that vanishing point over there. So we'll call this vanishing point VP number 2, and this will be VP number 1, okay? So I'm not using a ruler, I'm just guesstimating, okay? Just guesstimating. So let's just say we're gonna put a mark someplace about there, and it could be anywhere, all right? And then from this point, we wanna make sure that we're going to have a line that crosses through that is also converging back to that same vanishing point. So we're going to put a mark there and a mark there. And if I'm going too fast, just make a comment. Please say, please slow down. And I'll slow down for a second. So let me show you now. What this line becomes is going to become the axle of our car here, of our little wooden block. And this is going to become very important to us as we learn to draw wheels. But before we do that, I want to talk about drawing ovals first, because ovals are essentially circles that are foreshortened. And I can show you. Let me demonstrate that for you real fast. Here's a plate. Okay, this plate is a circle, but as I turn it away from you, it becomes an oval. You see that? So an oval is nothing more than a circle in perspective. Okay? Remember that. So if I go to draw an oval, let's just draw an oval like this. Every oval, this is the technical stuff, but once we get through this, we'll get onto our car. But it's important that you understand how this works. Every oval has a center point. This is the distance that goes across the shortest area of an oval. You also have this distance too. You see that? That goes across the longest distance. The short part right here is called the minor axis. And of course, the longer one is called the major axis. Well, guess what? You don't even have to know anything about the major axis. And if somebody has discovered a use for the major axis when it comes to drawing, I would love to know about it. You would definitely teach me a thing. What we're concerned is about the minor axis. That is the most important to us. And so when we go to draw an oval, we want to make sure that side A is perfectly reflective of side B. All right? That's how we draw an oval. Now, if the oval is going to be less foreshortened, it's going to be a little bit more wider. You see this? If it's going to be really foreshortened, It's going to be something like this. Okay, how does that help us when drawing a wheel? Well, when drawing a wheel, the minor axis is also the axle of the wheel. You see that right there? So how would we draw this? It would be me taking this and moving it over here. Now watch what I do. Oop, that's already, I can already tell you that's a little bit off. And I'll show you what I mean. This has got to be reflective A has got to be reflective of B. And when you draw your oval, this is the minor axis. Let me show you. Let me point this out to you here. Here's our minor axis. It's no difference than that right there. You see that? That's our minor axis. And this side must be reflective of that side right there. And that's how you draw a wheel on a car or a wheel on a block of wood. All right? So that's what I want to, if you are new to drawing, if you are just beginning, if you walk away from this lesson with this idea, man, you've just scored 1 million internet points, okay? You just scored a lot of points because you're going to learn how to draw any type of, hey, Peck, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. You're going to learn how to draw any type of circle in perspective. Let me show you. Here's another scenario. Let's just say you were going to draw a cup. Well, you would use the same idea. You see this? Or a cylinder. There it is. Okay? Let's just say you were going to draw a tea kettle. There's your lid. All right? And then your base. And then the bottom part where your base sits. You see this? And then you might have your spout and your handle. So whenever you're going to draw any type of oval or circle in perspective, always look for the minor axis. All right, let's move all this stuff out of the way, and let's get on to our car drawing now. So the first thing we're going to draw is the box that this would go into. But let's kind of first look at our drawing here and determine where our perspective is going to be. So this top of the window there gives us a sense that's going back to the vanishing point. And then if we use this, you see this is going to be the axle, and we can guesstimate we're going to guesstimate where the other point is in the center of that circle. This is also going back to that same vanishing point. Okay? And let's see if there's anything else on this car that's obvious. Well, we could always use this. This is going to go back to that same vanishing point. And then we could even use the other axle, and we're going to guesstimate, I'm going to say it's about right there, right below that. And this is also, now that one doesn't look quite right for me, so I think it's going to be about like that, okay? So all of these things, and I'm going to erase that dot right there. Let me, those are some brownies. Hold on while I check on them. Yeah, we do all things here. We even make brownies. This is the way we roll. It gives you a chance to get caught up. Hold on, I gotta check these. Oh, yeah. Still need some more time. Give it another 20 minutes. All right, I'm back. My apology for that. It's how we roll sometimes. We have to make brownies. All right, so we have that there. All right. Now let's check our other vanishing point, and we can line these wheels up. So that's going to go this way. All right. And then I could even use the closing of the car. So look at that, the closing of the lid there. That's going to help me establish the other vanishing point. So once I get these things down, I can create a block, and then we will start to cut that away and turn it into a car. All right. All right, I'm going to erase all that, and we can start going here. So first thing I want you to do is let's look at the top part there, and it's almost horizontal. It's almost horizontal with the top of your page. We'll start there. Now keep that line light, okay? Keep it light because we're going to draw on top of it. And then down here, this is going to be the hub. And let's see, I'm going to bring that up again and try and get this angle right there. Okay. All right, let's get this back end over here as well, and then I'm gonna slide that over a little bit. Okay. So that is about the angle that you should be aiming for right there. That's the angle you want to shoot for. And we're going to base our car on that angle there. So let's go ahead and guesstimate to where the other hubcap is going to be. I'm going to go right there. And then let's bring this back to the vanishing point, and we're just going to guesstimate. We're going to guesstimate. So if this is going back there, this is going to go in that direction, okay? And then the front end of the car, let's just say we're going to guesstimate it's going to be right there. And then this is going to go back to the vanishing point. So we want to fan it out. Fan it out. And then let's come straight up here now. Now we're going to create kind of our block. That's all fanning out there, right? Straight up and down here. Okay, this is going to be slightly fanning out there, all converging in the back. And this is also going to slowly converge in the back. And this, right at this point, and this is where the last one's going to go. And this too is going to converge. So all of your lines are either going to go to, we'll call this vanishing point 1, or they're going to kind of head in the direction of vanishing point 2, or they're going to be straight up and down. All right. Now you should be drawing lightly. I'm going to take the opacity down just a little bit on that. Okay, let's go ahead now and do one more thing here to help us kind of measure where things will go, okay? Let's find out where the center point of this car is, and we're going to connect the square, the front end here of the two squares, or the two corners, and that's going to be the center portion of the car. And I'm going to put a line there to help me navigate where that is. Okay, let's kind of continue on here now. Now, as we draw this car, we're going to use a lot of we're going to guess a lot of things. This isn't, I'm not looking to make a perfect drawing of a car. What I'm planning to do here is to be inspired by the car that I see, okay? So if it doesn't look exactly like it, that's okay. We're just going to use it to be inspired by, all right? So I want to keep that idea in mind. And I'm going to do something here to make this a little bit easier to see. Hold on. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just erase this a little bit. There you go. Okay. All right, next, let's go ahead and get this. Let's get this the windshield in. So we're going to use this line right there. Okay, we're going to use that line. And I'm just going to come up just a little bit, and I'm going to want to make this parallel. And then at the top here, where I'm just going to guesstimate this. This is going to go back to that vanishing point. Okay? It's going to go back to that vanishing point. Then if I look at the car on the outside edges, you see that right there. This is our hood. It's going to converge a little bit, and we're going to bring the hood back just almost like this. And again, that's a little bit of a guesstimation, but that's okay. So we're going to just play connect the dot. And then this is going to drop down straight. And we're going to drop down straight here, just like this. And then the front end here is also going to go back in space. And I'm just kind of estimating. Just estimating the front there. Okay, next. Let's get this axle. Let's get these wheels in. And so this is, we already know this is the hubcap of the wheels there. This would make it the axle. So let's try and draw this oval here. Remember, draw it lightly. get A to be reflective of B. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Even though you can't see it, okay, it's not too bad. And then we're going to add a little thickness to our tire. So let's come over here like this. And the same thing, it's going to have to be like this. Same thing over here. We'll add a little thickness to it. Then we'll get the inside part, again, just like another oval. And I'm just going to add a little bit of tone to help me separate it. Let's get this hubcap in. I mean the fender. Okay, so the fender is going to be just about like that, going back in space. And I'm looking at this point right here. Let me show you. I'm looking at this point right there, and there is the width of it. Okay. And it's almost right below the window. So here's my window. It's like right there. This is also going to go back in that same amount of space. All right. And now let's do this simple S curve. And then we're going to repeat the same thing over here. And there's going to be another one over here on this side. So I'm just going to use the front here as a guide. It's going to come out there. Something like that. And I can reference the picture to help me kind of visualize that. Bottom of the tire should also be going back to the vanishing point. I don't believe mine were. Okay, let's go ahead and get these. Let's get this front fender or the front radiator area here. Going to add some surface lines. And then it has a little there's a little radiator cap, it looks like. Let's determine the center of this window. And again, we're going to use an X because this is going back in space. And whenever we're trying to find the center of something that's going back in perspective, we want to use an X. So that right there will be the center of our hood. And we want to get that little opening across the hood there. You see that? Okay, let's continue on here. There's a lot of little pieces. So let's get this man driving. Now you'd be like, what? I didn't sign up to get a guy driving. Well, that's okay. I'll show you how to do it. So let's just come down straight here. And let's first get his knee in place, okay? We'll start with his knee. And all we're just going to do is something like this. There's his knee. Now look at the top of his knee lines up almost directly with his shoulder, his inside part of his shoulder. Look, there's the top of his knee. Oh, I'm going to change that to be green there. There's the top of his knee, and there's the corner of his shoulder. You see that? And believe it or not, because he's sitting square in the car, his shoulders are kind of going back into the vanishing point. So we could use that. All right, so let's just say, boom. There's the angle of his shoulders. And his shoulders are coming quite out, they're almost overhanging the car. You see that? All right. So let's pretend that we're going to take him and make him like we took a ball of clay and we're going to plop it down just like this. So watch what I do here. All right, that's kind of his body there. And then we're going to stick his head right in here, just like this. Okay, ready? From his shoulder, let's say his shoulder is hanging down here. And then the top of his arm is coming right back. And it's lining up right in the middle of his face. You see there? And his hand, and all we have to do is do something like that for his hand right now. And then this fans out. Something like that. I'm going to erase this middle line right there. And let's put his hat in. So just make a slight circumference, an equator around his head there. And this is going to be the inner part of his hat. And whenever we draw hats, I always like to draw, just ignore where the brim will go and just kind of get where that wraps around the head. And now I can just add a squiggly line for the brim. I'm going to add a little bit of tone underneath there. Can't even see his eyes, so I'm just going to put a little line there for his nose, and then I'll just give him a smile. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on our drawing here. And let's get to this back tire now, okay? So let's get that lined up here. We're going to have the same, it's going to be a slightly, let's get this oval in. Draw the oval the same way that we did earlier. I'm really looking at this minor axis and getting A to be reflective of B. Hey, Mariana. All right, there's the hub cap. There's a little hub there, right? Let's get this back fender in place. Remember, it's going to follow that angle right there. And I can see from the picture it's going to overlap the tire right about there. So now all we have to do is connect the dots. So we're going to come around. Just like that. If we take the top of the fender, this is also going to go back to the vanishing point. And we're going to come like this. Now, if you're watching this and like and your mind is being blown right now. Once to watch, I came a little late though. Yep. If your mind's being blown, that's okay, because this can be hard. So you might have to watch this once or twice to get to see where all these things are going. But it's how you learn, right? It's how you learn. All right, I'm gonna add a little tone here to where the tire's coming around, and of course underneath that fender it's going to be very black. And it's also going to be very black back here. Let's come back up here to the front maybe and look at this. Get his bumper in, and it's going to be a little bit of a straight line there, and I can see from the picture, from the angle, it extends beyond the tire so slightly. And it has a slight curve to it. We'll do something like that. And it's divided in half. Okay, I'm going to put this steering wheel in. The steering wheel is going to have an axis just about in that. This minor axis is going to be right about there. And the same thing here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw an oval that I'm using that minor axis to reflect. Okay, I could see that he's sitting in a chair here. Top of the chair is going back in that vanishing point. And then the corner of that chair is somewhere right, oh, it's so close. It's going to be right about there, I believe. So we're just going to bring that down like that. And let's get basically the back end here, and then you can start to decorate it with all these things that are hanging on the back. So let's just start with let's start with this top corner right there. We're going to start with this top corner and use this as a guide. All right, so that's going to go back to our vanishing point. And this corner here is also going to go back to our vanishing point. Remember, all these are converging to the same vanishing point. And then I'm just going to use kind of the back of our car there. This is right above the axle. I'm going to come back here, and this is going to be like almost a straight vertical right there. And then this is also going to kind of go back to our vanishing point. And where it crosses over, that's going to be the back end of my car. So now I could come up here. I could come up there. I could connect those two. Let's see now. I just want to make sure, and I'm just going to look roughly at my alignment, making sure that it's important that I'm getting all of these angles. And if I have to make a slight adjustment, just do it. Okay. Let's come back up to the front here and get these headlights in. And again, we've got more ovals, but these are small enough, so I think we could just kind of guesstimate them, and they're going to be kind of like this, I believe. Okay. And then they have another little horn here. Look at this. Look at the stick he has, and it kind of starts here, and it goes straight up. You see that? And then he's wearing a coat, it looks like, and I think we can add some tone there. The coat comes back like this. All right, let's continue here. Let's see, what else can we draw that's important? Okay, so at this point, I think we've got most of the pieces down. Now you can kind of let loose a little bit and start to decorate it. So it looks like I've got some type of venting on the side there. You see that? But then over here he's got this bucket. Looks like he's carrying. We can definitely create an oval there, and this is being hung by something. Looks like he has some more junk, and we're just gonna indicate some different ovals here, and it's got some type of globe here, right? You see this? Looks like he's got a mailbox or even a horn here. You see that? And then this mailbox thing is like this. Looks like there's an object that's like leaning out back here, like a roll of something. And then like a piece of fence or a piece of wood that's coming out like that. Now he has this grandma, the grandma character in the back, and you could draw that if you wanted to, or you could just kind of put an empty rocking chair maybe back here to make it a little bit easier. And of course this is going to go back to the vanishing point. Maybe this is a piece of wood here, right? And if you wanted to, you could even drop in a little bit of tone along the side. This will help give some structure to it. We can even add like a little of maybe a flag. maybe going to add just a little bit of a shadow underneath his lips there. This might be the cushion that he's sitting on. A little bit of surface line. And we could even add, this is the, you know, I see that this thing has a seam here. So this is going to have an opening there probably. Oh, look at this. I think I just blew that. Looks like it opens there. Okay. And let's tone this in here. There's all kinds of things going on there. All kinds of weird junk that's down here, right? There's even a pair of shoes there, but I'm not gonna add them because it's getting a little complicated. But I am going to color in this tire a little bit. I'm going to add some spokes. Now the spokes are going to go in a different direction than the axle there, so don't follow the axle when you do that. And then the same thing back here. I'm just going to totally ignore that minor axis because these don't line up with that at all. Okay, well, guess what? That brings us up to the top of the hour here. And I hope that, man, I hope you've picked up a couple things with drawing our car here in perspective. Boy, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would have to put that up as being difficult to draw, about an 8. At first when I looked at this, I thought, oh, we could do that. And then when I started to get into it, I thought, ooh, this might be a little bit harder for everyone. But hopefully I went slow enough that you were able to pick it up. And if you have to watch it again, by all means, watch it again, because there is, do it again and just go through it step by step, just like I showed you at the very beginning. And thank you, Mariana. She's like, wow, that car you drew. So we're just using simple vanishing points. Let's see it. Let me see if I can bring that original car back up. There it is. And you know, this is where we started off from. We started off with learning how to draw a block, going back in perspective. Get this down. Really work on getting this down first. Once you get this idea down, then you just start adding more and more pieces to it. Okay? Well, listen, I really appreciate you watching today, and for everyone who's going to watch the recording, thanks again. Do like and subscribe and send me a comment there. If you have any questions on this or want me to re-explain something, by all means, add it to the comments below, and I might do a follow-up video or jump over to our Facebook group. And that's also down in the description, okay? Listen, my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Thanks for watching this, and I will see you next time. We go live every Monday and Wednesday. So subscribe and you will get the link and the announcement. Hit that bell and it will let you know when we're going live. Okay? Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Peck says I couldn't get big screen of mine. Looks a little frosty. Looks like Frosty the Snowman. Okay, buddy. Peck, just jump over to our Facebook group. Show me what you did, and I would be happy to help you out with it, okay? All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm Kurt. I'm your dad who draws. Bye-bye. Have a great day.